Hello everyone and welcome back to one of these development videos. I've actually been developing a brand new game for about a month now, probably just less than a month. I think I started it on the 19th of December just for a little hobby, but it's slowly taken over my life. It's called, well, the code name is Skylia, but the original concept for the game was to have like, you know, like what they call the island block thing, the sky blocks in Minecraft. A whole game based around that, but with different concepts. Like, there's no character. It's like a top-down view, and you have to manage the island with like city management / crafting. It's sort of like a mixture between a city manager and Minecraft. So it's actually not based in the sky anymore. I've changed it so it's an island. So the story is sort of, you take control of a small island, and then you have to harvest resources and buy materials from a shop, and you can expand your island and build new things. So yeah, let's get into the game. I'll just start a new one. World 1. So this is what you start with. This is development stuff in the top. I'm going to hide this on the main game. It's just for development reasons. I've actually got a whole thing for statistics and stuff. Right, so the game is based around these tiles. So this is like the ground. And grass is like really important resource because you can grow things on it, such as trees and other things like that. So basically, you just add tiles by clicking. But tiles are quite hard to get. You can craft them. I'll craft some cement tiles. That's 40 stone, 1 fibre. These are your resources along the bottom. I've got 50 stone and 20 fibre at the moment. Like, all of these resources, they need like honing. I need to proper get into like how much things cost and stuff. So at the moment I can only afford 1 cement tile. But that's basically what you do. To harvest resources, you just hover over an object and then it'll tell you to harvest, and then you right click and it'll delete it. Gives me the resources as well. I have a whole inventory system. It's exactly the same as Minecraft, the inventory. You can split items. You can place one by right clicking. The crafting screen is opened by pressing C. And this tells you like all the stuff that you need to craft things. And the shop is opened with Q. They look quite similar at the moment, if you can. Like, one's blue, one's green. I'm trying to find ways to differentiate between them. So you can buy raw materials from the shop. You can buy like seeds and saplings. You can buy tiles, and you can buy buildable things. Like, I'm going to eventually have houses, so you can build a house and people will move in, and then you have to like keep them fed and stuff with the food. There's also a power resource. I'm planning on building like wind turbines to make power, and they can power mines, like automatic mines that drill for stone and metal and things. So that's the plan. Yeah, you also have to keep them happy as well. That's like a percentage rating. I've not programmed any of that yet. This time thing, I actually have an extra time like that's hidden, that's based on the real world month. So it allows me to add things, you know, like when on Animal Crossing, where like if it's Halloween events happen in the game. I can do things similar to that. I've got it all, it's all programmed and ready to go. Right, so I'm just going to access God mode. I put a load of cheats in the game to just give me loads of items. Right, so these are the things that I've got at the moment. I've got grass tiles. I've got wooden tiles. You can also rotate these as well, so you can make like cool patterns. I've got brick tiles. And I've got cement tiles. I can add as many tiles as I want to this, really. There's no limit. The way I've programmed, I'll show you some of the programming later on. But the way I've programmed it is so it's quite easy to add new objects. I just have a list of what I need to do whenever I add a new object, and it's quite easy to do. But you don't need to add any extra code or anything, really. There's like one or two bits of code you need to write to add new objects, but other than that, it's quite simple. Like these saplings as well, when you plant them, anything that's harvestable will show you a time when you hover the mouse over. So that's 4 minutes. If I look at the stats, it'll actually tell me the exact time. So the harvest time there, that's in seconds. So 223 seconds before that grows into a tree. In fact, I'll just zoom the speed up a bit. So this is like super fast now. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. When it gets to 0, it'll grow into a nice little spruce tree. There we go. Harvest that for materials. You can delete the tiles as well by just right clicking anytime and it'll delete the tile. But you can't delete a tile if there's an object on top of it. And that also gives you the tile back. You can see 75 and delete one, 76. Right, let me just get that game speed back to... I need to put a setting for back to normal. I don't think I've done that yet. I think X4 is the only one, times 4. Leave it at that for now. I'm not happy with the day-night cycle because I can't program lights. So when it goes dark, it goes really dark, and I'd like you to be able to place lights and then it lights up certain areas, but I think this program I'm using only allows 7 lights, so it's quite a limitation. What else have we got? We've got crop boxes, so you can place these anywhere, and these don't work yet. I've only just finished making these. So basically this is a crop box. When you delete it, it gives you it back. Actually no, it gives you the materials back. I forgot about that. But you can buy seeds from the shop and you can plant them in these boxes. This is the plan anyway, I've not done it yet. And then they will eventually grow into crops that you can then harvest for food. What else have we got? We got fences. You can rotate these with the R button, or R key. You can make some cool little patterns on the ground with the tiles, so make like different types of paths. So that's pretty much all I've got at the moment, but the plan is to have like floating barrels. You know, have you ever played the game Raft? You'll know what I mean. So every now and then a barrel will float by, and if you click on it, then you can get some raw materials, and that'll help to expand the island a bit quicker. At the moment, I don't like the way the ground like stays static as you move, like the sea. I mean, it looks a bit weird. That I need to fix quite a few things, but this is the game so far. The plan is to have mines, so you build a big structure. Well, I'll tell you the plan from the start. You start off on a little island with a few resources, barrels. You harvest the resources, you build a few crops, and then there's going to be objectives all the time. So the first objective is to expand the island. So once you reach a certain level, you can then build a shop. So then the second objective is to build a shop. So you need the materials. You need to harvest all the materials to get the shop built. And then you can start buying like seeds and things like that for the crops, and yeah, other things that you need. And then you can build like mines and things, and then houses for people to move in, and yeah, wind turbines and things like that for power. I don't really know how I'm going to do the power at the moment. The way I was thinking is just every time you build a wind turbine, it gives like a certain amount of power, and then if you build a mine, that subtracts the power. So the mines will only work if you have enough power. That's quite a basic way to do it though. But to be fair, it's quite a basic game. What else can I tell you about? I've got like this shop here. If you drag anything into this thing here, the sell box, you can then sell it. The prices are so ridiculous. 89 trees for $22,000, and that'll give you the money up there. That works for anything. I also have a pause screen. Like again, the C is all wrong, but when you pause, it shows you like an overview of your island. You can go to the controls and see what the controls are. You can save the game. So if I click save now, quit to menu. This often crashes the game, by the way. And it looks like it's crashed. Yes, it has. So I'll just load it back up, and then we'll load up that island. So if I could click continue game now, it'll continue where we left off. Right, I'm going to show you some of the code for this. So this is the main thing. It starts at the very top. As to some basic things. I'm using a program called Dark Basic Professional, and it's basically the only thing I know how to code on. I've tried learning other types of code like Java and what's the other one? I can't even remember what it's called now. But other types of code. But the one that is always stuck is just basic. It's really basic code. It's quite simple to learn. It's like the rules of basic is like, if such a thing happens, then do this. End if. That's like the entire of basic, pretty much. See, such as this: if key state 60, which is F2 key on the keyboard, and that equals 0, then do this. So basically, if you press F2, then display a message. It can get quite complicated later on, like when you're creating functions and stuff. In fact, I'll show you the functions page now. So these are all of the functions, and functions are basically like in-game script things. So you can basically create your own functions, and they do anything. So this is the function to load the game. So whenever I need to load a game from any point, I can load it from the continue button, or I can load a game from the actual load file menu. So this is what happens. It just basically finds the world name from reading the files and stuff. It gets all of the information from the save files, and then we create certain objects that aren't saved in an array. Array is like, it's like a way of storing data. And I have a world array. So all of the objects that you place in the world are stored in an array. So the object number is stored. The rotation of the objects is stored. The position of the object on X, Y, Z. The harvest is stored, like the harvest time. So if you have like 4 minutes left on the tree, that'll be saved as well. And also, what else is saved? Oh, when you're deleting the object with the axe or something, the amount of hits is saved. So if you hit an object 2 times and it's got 3 maximum hits, then if you quit the game and load it back up and you hit it 1 more time, it'll be destroyed. So yeah, we're just basically loading, we're just going through the array, every single object in the array, creating an object based on the information and positioning it. And yeah, that's pretty much how I'm loading the game. Grass tiles have a slightly different thing because they have like an extra random grass thing animation on top. Not an animation, a limb. So some tiles have like a little grass thing on them. That's all completely random though. They don't save in them tiles. Right, what else have we got here? The way I'm doing the objects is, it's quite a new thing that I've been doing. Instead of just making objects, that would take up so much like memory and stuff. I'm just making one of every object at the start of the game. So every single tile, every single object is made, and it's just one, and it's stored way off screen somewhere. And all I'm doing whenever I'm creating an object, in fact I'll show you. So say we're placing an object, it's called instancing. So you basically just clone that one object and use up all of the same information as that object. So it saves a lot of memory on your computer, and that's what's helping me run at 60 frames per second at the moment. There's also something else. I had a problem with this the other day when I was making objects. The way I'm making every single object is I'm starting off with a very, very small object, and that's set at like 0.0.0, and then I build the object around it. So like I can use that for like the spatial positioning. But I was using a sphere. How do I even a sphere? I was using a sphere for that object, and basically they have so many polygons, and when I was looking at the polygon count on screen on a big island, it was something like 160,000 polygons, and I was trying to work out how the hell I can get that polygon count down, because my frame rate was going down to like 40 FPS, and I worked out it's because of the sphere thing. So I changed it to a triangle which has the least amount of polygons, and yep, I've got it down to about 12,000 now, so running at a smooth FPS of 60. Yeah, all of the values, oh that's my phone, all the values are stored at the start of the game as well. So things like prices, this is where all the prices are stored, and these are used all the way through the game as well. So when you sell something, it reads these prices. I'm very popular today. What's going on? That's not like me. So yeah, that's basically it. If you want to follow the development of this game, I'm going to keep adding new things in. The next thing I'm going to do is probably the crops. I need to grow the crops. In fact, I'm going to show you something real quick here. One sec. Okay, so this is the development of the game. Right, so this is... Oh. That was basically the very first concept idea for the game. Like a basic hotbar and just 10 by 10 tiles. And it's ended up into like this. I'm going to have to download some of these photos on my OneDrive. Right, so let's go through. That's when I started doing like it shows you the messages at the side. So when you collect materials, it shows you what materials you've collected. That was when I got the inventory system working. And then I started adding tiles in, so wooden tile. It used to look a lot different. I also had a grid pattern on the grass that I didn't really like. So I got rid of it. Bricks looked a bit different as well. And then I added a tree. And I had shading on all of the objects at first, but the FPS rate was going so far down. I need to try and work out a way of making shadows without it being like hard on your computer. I started adding noise to the graphics, so you can see this like roughness on the graphics, and I really like that. So that's what it looked like with the shadows. I also did there's a lot of graphics changes there, like I think I've got the colours a little bit more closer to what they are now. That was just a that didn't go right, that one. Or that one. Nope. Yep, so this is like when the game got a little bit more developed. I experimented with a top-down view in the corner, but again that was like, it was so like draining on the FPS. The reason being is that on the screen here, all of the objects that aren't on screen are hidden. But with a top-down view, it pretty much just shows everything, so you're not getting the frame rates improvements, I should say. Like you can see there, I tried like cutting out the, like you can see here, like it's off screen, so these objects are hidden, but you can see that it's hidden on there. So there was no way of keeping that. I had to get rid of it. That was when I added the day-night cycle. Still not happy with it, but we're continuing with it. Oh, this is when I added the tree stumps. So when you chop a tree, it used to just disappear. The tree used to disappear and that was it. But then I added a little tree stump, which gives you a little bit more resources when you harvest it. Don't know why we've got so many of these. There we go. Crafting screen made. I'm not happy with the positioning of this. It looks odd. I might have to push these all the way to the side and have the text in the middle. The shop screen. I used to have it as well, so you had tools for individual tasks. So if you wanted to delete one of the tiles, you had to hover over the bulldozer tool to use it, and I just felt like it was quite boring to use. It wasn't fun. So I just got rid of that and made it automatic. So if you hover over a tile and right click, it'll just delete it. If you hover over a tree and right click, it'll just chop it. And it shows you these tools as you hover over now. And I think that's a much better way to do it. It's a lot easier and it just feels more natural. This is when I added the cement tile. That's when I added the sea. We're getting quite recent now. That is when, that is today actually. I changed the colour of the grass and then I changed the colour of the tree. So it got like a much brighter thing. And then these ones is like the very latest one. I just added the crop box in today. So that's where we're at the moment. 60 FPS and down to 3,000. That would have been probably about 80,000 before I did the optimization on the objects. Right, so if you want to follow the development of this, then subscribe to this channel. And yep, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll try and answer as many as possible. And I'll probably do a few more update videos. This is update 1 and let's see how it goes. I think I'm going to stick with this one though, because everything seems to be coming together. Like, it's quite easy to add new objects into the game now. I just have to follow a set thing. In fact, I'll show you the set thing. So this is what I do to add new items. I just have to do all of this list. These are useful functions that I've created at the top, so just to remind me. And this is all of the object groups. I've grouped all the objects, so every time you place a grass tile, it groups it into object 1. And instead of going through every single object and trying to find out if it's grass or anything, I can just find out instantly with just one bit of code. Like, if it's in object group 1, then do this. That's a way of making the game run a little bit quicker. Version history. That's today. "19th of December was when I started. I've pretty much been working on it every day. It started off just as a little bit of a hobby at night. I just started coding a little bit of like interface for the game, like the hotbar and things. And then it just developed. I had an idea one night and I just thought I'm going to try and turn that into a game. I can't do animated objects at all, so that's one of the reasons why I went for a top-down view. But I think it's working. I've never seen a game that mixes that sort of city management view with Minecraft mechanics. I think it's quite an interesting concept. So yeah, this game at the moment is called Skylia. I don't think it's going to be based in the sky anymore, so maybe Ilia, because it's an island. I don't know. If you have any ideas for names, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.